Buongiorno everyone, lineup predictions here on the Magpie Channel TV. Newcastle United away tomorrow against Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Molineux. 7th place versus 13th, only 5 points between them. Wolves got off to a shite start of the season, Europa League syndrome and all that, but they've come good now and we're on the back of a lot of injuries, a lot of problems at the club, both on the pitch and off. But on the pitch, it's been dreadful lately. But check Brucey's press conference this morning. That is some good news. We might have quite a good few players back. So we'll run through what Brucey said this morning. Yoshinori Muto and Ki-Sung Young are both out from injuries they picked up last week against Rochdale. Javier Manquillo's still out. Fabian Schär won't be fit to play against Rochdale. John Joe Shelvey, not quite. Alan Saint-Maximin has trained the last 2 or 3 days. He's been back on the grass, but still not available for this game. But along with him and Lascelles, may be fit for the replay against Rochdale on Tuesday. So, yes, Saint-Maximin and Lascelles may be back. He did say he expects the vast majority to be back by the end of next week or there or thereabouts. So next week we're at home to Chelsea, so we might have some of them back available. Muto, Kay, Schär, probably not yet Manquillo. I think he's got quite a bad hamstring injury. But Shelvey, Saint-Maximin and Lascelles as well may all make a return in the next week, so that's great news. But tomorrow we have Jetro Willems available again. Miguel Almiron's available. He picked up a knock against Rochdale last week as well. Andy Carroll's fit, Dwight Gale's fit, and Kieran Clark are all fit. So that's fucking fantastic news. DeAndre Yedlin need to wait and see. Got a training session today. Gonna see how he comes through. He's got a bit of a sore knee, so he might not be available. Gotta wait and see. Paul Dummett is also fit. So we've got a few great options there defensively where we've been lacking. We started the season with 6 great centre-backs, but over the last few weeks we've only been having one consistently healthy, which is Federico Fernandez. I'm going to jump straight into my lineup there. I'm going to stop waffling on. Back to the obviously 5 at the back. We're not going to change that anytime soon. Martin Dubravka in goal, Carl Darlow on the bench. Darlow may be on his way out this January. I think Aston Villa's been circling, so we'll see about that one. At right back, like I say, Yedlin has a sore knee, so he probably won't be available, but I would like to say that he's not going to play. We're going to bench Yedlin, start Kraft. Like we've been through this. We've been doing this all season. We're playing players that may not be fit, or like that they might have an injury or they're not fully fit but been thrown into the deep end. Don't play him. Kraft, fair play to him. He's not everyone's cup of tea. I've been backing him since the start of the season. I don't think he's as bad as everyone makes out, but no mistakes about it. He's behind the pecking order of Yedlin and Manquillo, without a doubt. But I think he's a great third option, and he comes in, fair play to the lad. The last 2 games, he's came in when we've needed him and played out of position, and he's played great as well. So fair play to Kraft. I think he's got to start. No point throwing Yedlin in at the deep end. Like I say, Manquillo's still out, so give Kraft a chance. I think he deserves it. He's played the last 2 games out of position, hasn't complained, played great. So don't risk Yedlin if it's not necessary. So Kraft in at right full back. Like I say, Fernandez, the only one who's been fit over the last few weeks. I've got to give a massive shout out to Federico Fernandez. Like over this festive period, all of these games where everyone's been dropping like flies, injuries and lack of fitness right, left and centre, between Federico Fernandez particularly and Isaac Hayden, they've come through winter unscathed. No injuries, played I think at 90 minutes every game, don't quote us on that, but they've just powered through. No complaints. Hayden played out of position last week as well. A couple of others as well, Almiron, Joe Linton, they've all come through winter unscathed, which is great news because like not everyone's that strong. Like people don't have the fitness that quite clearly them guys have. So fair play to them. Shout out Federico Fernandez. Obviously played last Saturday as captain. Had to lead the line. Like I say, he was the only one fit. Had a makeshift defensive Kraft and Hayden. So yeah, shout out Fernandez. Alongside him, It's been tricky. We've got two spots. We've got Clark, Dummett and Lejeune. But for me, Lejeune bench, Clark and Dummett to start. And that is difficult, more difficult than it may seem, because they're just coming back. Lejeune was an unused substitute last week against Rochdale, but I think just to make up the numbers. He was a doubt for that game. Obviously, the last time we've seen him was the Leicester game, where he was quite clearly not fit, shouldn't have been there, and it was his lack of fitness that led to two sloppy mistakes that led to two Leicester goals. So I don't know where he's at. He wasn't mentioned in the press conference. He still probably isn't 100% for me. So that's why Clark and Dummett are going to come straight back into the lineup there. Again, I don't know how fit they are. Hopefully they are available and they can play and get through 90 minutes. Lejeune is back up if not. But when we played with them, we had quite a spell of games with Fernandez, Clark and Dummett at the back where we're actually great. And that's a makeshift defence as well. Without Shara and Lascelles, they're two starting 11 players. When they've been injured, Clark and Dummett came in and been unbelievable. Fernandez as well. Come the start of the season, probably wouldn't have had him as a starting 11 player. It's just rotation. But they've been great, and I think if they're going to be fit, they deserve to play. Lejeune maybe needs an extra little bit of time off. Like say against Leicester, he was sloppy. Like maybe he doesn't deserve to be dropped because I know he wasn't fit. But if the other two are fully fit, I'd start with them. Wing back, Willems is fit again, but for me, just the same as what I said about Yedlin and Lejeune. To be fair, Willems bench. Matt Ritchie to start. Matt Ritchie's been back for a couple of weeks now. Got a good run out against Rochdale, about 25 minutes I think he got. And looked great, looked really sharp, really fit. And he's obviously further along than what Willems is. Willems wasn't available last week. Ritchie was, got some minutes. So Ritchie's played more minutes lately than what Willems has. Before Willems' injury, you could tell he was lacking fitness. You could tell an injury was coming a mile off. I seen it, so I don't know how Brucey didn't. But again, I think it was due to lack of options. Like people have been forced to play when they shouldn't have been. Like Ritchie wasn't fit when Willems was playing all these games, and Dummett's not the strongest at fullback, and then he got injured as well. So try and preserve people's fitness now. We've got another game on Tuesday and a tough fixture with Chelsea next week. So yeah, Ritchie's played more minutes lately. Probably the fitter of the two at the minute. So Ritchie to start, Willems on the bench. In midfield, Isaac Hayden, let's say, plays every minute, every game, 100% effort. I think it's an actual joke. Yesterday, the squad players' wages were leaked, and Hayden is one of the lesser paid players at Newcastle, 22 grand a week, which is amazing for Joe average. But for someone like Hayden, who puts in as many minutes and the effort and everything he puts in, like I say, like he's gone through winter unscathed, and the majority of players have getting injured or been unfit. Hayden, along with Fernandez and a couple of others, they've played every minute and not complained. They've been great. So 22 grand a week for a player that good for us and that important. He deserves a pay rise. Or he needs to fucking hire a new agent or something. He's a piss taker. Alongside him, personally, I would play Matty Longstaff. But going with my head, Longstaff, bench, Matty, Sean Longstaff to start. Last week, Matty Longstaff was one of our better players against Rochdale. He was fantastic. His energy, running around like a headless chicken, in a good way. But he's just absolutely everywhere. You can tell how happy he is to play for the club, putting in 110%. Sean hasn't been great for me lately. The Rochdale game, particularly Burnley a couple of weeks ago, he hasn't looked like the Sean Longstaff of last season, the one we all fell in love with and the one that was valued at 50 million, transfer rumours to Man United. But head over heart, Sean Longstaff, heart over head, Matty Longstaff. But I just think Brucey sees Sean as a more comfortable player to go into the starting lineup in a big Premier League fixture. A little bit more experience, about like 1 year's more experience. So I expect Sean to start. Would love to see Matty. Up top, Almiron on the right, hopefully he's fit. I know, like I say, he's another one that's been putting in all these minutes over the festive period. Picked up an injury last week against Rochdale, but Brucey says he's back. He's available. Hopefully he can play because he's been a great player for us lately. The Rochdale game, even the ones before that, I can't remember who've been playing. There's been that many games. Leicester, he was unreal against Leicester. I've become one of our key players. Another one that puts in effort, and that's all I want to see. I'll get on to Joe Linton. Maybe can't say the same for him, but Almiron runs his socks off and puts in 100% effort. On the other side, on the left, I'd put in Christian Atsu, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, Christian. Another one of our very few bright sparks against Rochdale, along with Matty Longstaff. Christian Atsu filled in at left fullback and was great. And outstanding Rochdale, but not everyone else put in that effort. He looked fantastic. He's dribbling, taking players on. He was outstanding. So I think he deserves a shot tomorrow. And up top, I would go with Joe Linton, which I know a lot of people wouldn't agree. And perhaps, I don't know, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think maybe Joe Linton should play out wide and give Carroll a go up top. But I just think Almiron and Atsu deserve a shot. Let's say Almiron's been one of our best players lately. Atsu was unbelievable last week. I still think we've got to stick with Joe Linton. I know, like, personally, I've given him a lot of stick, but we have spent a lot of money on him, and he is a young lad, shy on confidence. He needs it. What would be great for him is to shut us up, and I hope it happens. I hope he can come in one day, whether it's against Wolves, whether it's against Rochdale next week, or whether it's Chelsea or whoever. If you can come in, bag a couple of goals, get a man of the match award, look sharp, put in effort, that's the difference. That's what we want. Like, if he doesn't even score goals, it doesn't matter as long as you're putting in effort. Look at Almiron, Atsu last week. Look at Matt Ritchie. I'm over the moon Matt Ritchie's back, because you know what you're going to get with Matt Ritchie. 110% every week, sprinting up and down, booting players up the arse that aren't performing. And I think that could be great for Joe Linton, having someone like Matt Ritchie back, and Jamal Lascelles when he comes back. We've been missing Lascelles' leadership, and Matt Ritchie, like I say, can stick a boot up their arse. So if them two are on the pitch with Joe Linton, I think that could be great for him. I think he needs kind of like a role model, someone that can try and like pick him up a little bit. Like, we know Lascelles is a great leader. Matt Ritchie will scream and yell at everyone with his little red Scottish angry face. But so yeah, I think Joe Linton, he still deserves a chance. We've got to see what he can do. But want him to pay with back. People are saying put him out on loan, sell him. Like, I want to see what we've bought him for. Like, I know there's a player in there. I just want to get it out. It's like the genie. I just want to rub the lamp and just get it out. It's like Space Jam with a basketball. Like, the talent's stuck in there. We just need to fucking get it out. Bench, cover, Gale and Carroll both fit again. I say Muto's out, so them two need to come in. There's no one else, really. St Maximin's not available. There's no one else for the bench. I think that 18 are the only ones we'll have fit. Unless we're bringing a couple of the young'uns, but I don't think Brucey's really got any intention. If he did, we would have seen them last week. And we could maybe see them on Tuesday in the replay against Rochdale. I'm talking about Ludwig Francelet, Lewis Cass, Elias Sorensen and Tom Allen. I'd love to see one of them in the squad. And I think they are available as well. I know they're not in the 25-man squad, but players under, I think, 21 don't have to be. So I don't think Matty Longstaff is. He's like the 26th player. I think players under 21 don't need to be named in the 25-man squad. So I'm sure them youngsters are still eligible for the Premier League. They don't need to be declared or some shit like that. I don't know. But yeah, that's my team. I would love to see Carroll get some game time. I know he's just come back off injury and we know what he's like, so we don't want to rush him too much, which is why I would start Joe Linton as well. So yeah, Dubravka, Kraft, Fernandez, Clark, Dummett, Ritchie, Hayden, Sean Longstaff, Almiron, Atsu, Joe Linton. On the bench, Darlow, Yedlin, Lejeune, Willems, Matty Longstaff, Gale and Carroll. That's my lineup. I'm not overly confident in this game. Like I say before, Wolves are a great team. They've getting some form lately. They've sprouted up the table, 5 points ahead of us, sitting in 7th. looking for another Europa League place this season. Not overly optimistic. If it was at home, I'd maybe be a little bit more optimistic, but being away, I do see we're losing this game, unfortunately. I think a point would be fantastic to go to Molineux. We'll always play scrappy games against Wolves and all. I think the last few games have been 1-1, where it was 1-1 at home. It was 1-1 there last season where on Almiron's debut, where they got a late goal. And Bully was outmuscled Dubravka to get his head on it, probably a foul. But yeah, these games aren't usually pretty, so 1-1 is possible, and I would take it. I'd be happy with 1-1.